listening to the Not So Black and White Real Estate Podcast with your hosts, Sir Colin Campbell and Gary A. McGowan.
Good afternoon. It's your host, Sir Colin Campbell, here with Gary A. McGowan, and you're tuned into the Not So Black and White Real Estate Podcast. We're on site right now at one of the biggest real estate event in Ontario, in Toronto.
In Canada,
For 2023, a Keller Williams event, and we're on site here with none other than a leader in the industry, Donna Beach.
Wow, I'm going to cry. That was so beautiful. Well said. I'm honored. I'm humbled.
We like having really cool people, and you're one of those people that we've admired from afar. And the moment we get to know you, we got the opportunity to know you, just the light that you shone in our world. It's been changing, and it's evident why you're connected with so many people. So it's important that we have a conversation with you.
Wow, what a beautifully said. I'm excited to be here. This is a real honor. So where do we begin?
Well, I'm glad you asked that question.
Here
because normally we ask the questions around here, Donna.
Okay, so can I just interject for just a moment? Sorry, this is the way this is going to roll. I love asking questions.
You're not asking us anything.
No,
we are not on your podcast. You're on our podcast,
okay,
and this is how it's going to go.
Yeah. Okay.
So, Donna, where do we go from here?
Okay, I was hoping you'd ask that question.
Yeah. Beautiful. Okay, tell us a little bit about who Donna Beach is, so our audience can kind of get to know, and then we'll get into all the good stuff.
Really?
So,
Did you just say 20 minutes? No, honey, we could talk all day about this. No. Let me just share with you who Donna Beach is. Donna Beach is somebody who has become passionate about helping people find themselves and find their true motivation and figure out what lights them up in life. And I'll tell you where that was born from. That is born from being a team leader at Keller Williams and being an agent of 22 years. And when agents would come to me, they would say, I love this company, Keller Williams, and Keller Williams wants me to have lofty goals and be very good at what I do. But when they would come to me and close the door, they would just relax and they would say, but I need to know me better. I need to know me at a higher level so that I can be of benefit to everyone else. And I need to know where my true motivation comes from. So Donna, as the team leader, does what? She goes looking for ways to help people. And in addition to finding, some of the work that I do through helping people understand themselves through the DISC profile, and the other thing that I've started doing with people, which is just magical, is helping them figure out their purpose. And people have come to me and said, this has been a game changer for me, and this is where true motivation comes from. So where does it come from? It's come from having a new perspective on life through being a team leader and through being a coach and through just deciding that I wanted to help people find what really lights them up. And that is my passion in life. And it makes me happy to even say it. Can you tell?
Well, I can feel the energy. Now, you're talking about someone finding themselves and finding their true motivation, and right away I went, well, I'm not lost. What are you talking about finding myself?
Nope.
However, tell us a little bit more about someone understanding who they are to that core and what really drives them.
That's a great question. So how that helps, how that comes about is by really drilling down and doing a deep dive into your life and to figuring out the connection of the dots in your world that have turned you away from some things, made you go towards something else, and to really figure out why you do the things that you do. And at the end of the day, to be able to figure out where your true motivation comes from, and where it actually comes from is not where you think. So I start asking people questions when I go through these workshops with people, and the deeper you ask the question of, why do you think you're here and what it is you think you want to contribute to life, I start asking the question, so why is that important to you? Mm-hmm. And the deeper you the deeper dive you go on and the deeper you go with that, people think that where their true motivation comes from might be something like their children, their family, or whatever. But honestly, when you start drilling down and going deep, the true motivation can come from places they didn't even realize until they started connecting a lot of the dots of their life. And I see it in the work that I do with people now. And it just humbles me to be able to watch somebody on the Zoom screen or in person go, really? Did I just hear myself say that? Nothing sends me to the moon faster. And when people connect the dots of their life and get so excited about, oh my God, now I know where my real motivation comes from, you're unstoppable. You're thriving. You're in your best place. And that's what we all want to be in life. So it's all been a really interesting journey for me to get to this place. That's what I'm passionate about. And it works. It works. It's a conversation of asking really great questions, like both of you do. And it just rolls into something beautiful. Interesting.
Thank you.
So, now with the really great questions, as I shake my head now, where am I going to go with this? You touched on it a couple of times, but I think we can dig a little deeper in the fact that knowing oneself is obviously going to help others. And is obviously has that ripple effect in one's business and things like that. But it's more than business. It's more than real estate. It's more than helping the people around us. What I'm really focusing on here, perhaps in the question, is how does knowing me, in a sense, or knowing Donna, help your loved ones, right? Let's because that's really I'm paint it with a broad stroke where most people why kind of lands or their motivations, their loved ones in a sense, right? Mm-hmm. So yeah.
How does knowing you and being strong in you help the people around you?
Exactly.
It is knowing yourself and knowing that you are strong in your core and in your beliefs and in your presence is what builds strength in others. Think of somebody that you know, Gary, and you just know they're solid. You just know that they are strong to their very core. Are you attracted to that kind of energy? Of course you are,
yeah.
Right? They know themselves. They have faith in themselves. They you just are attracted to that because they are who they are. I didn't say that very well, but I know the answer's coming. Leave that one with me for a second.
Did we just stump Donna Beach?
Yeah. Highly unusual, but yeah.
Well, you did say my questions were really good.
Yeah, they are.
We have Tenley walking by us saying, what the? Are they
What is going on there?
She is the best. Donna is the best.
So as in really learning or trying to understand oneself, what is the question that we should be asking of ourselves to get a greater understanding?
That's a great question. You knew I was going to say that. But when you think about it, why is this important to me? Is the question we all need to be asking ourselves. When you do what you do, or when you make a decision about something, the most important thing that you can ask yourself or journal about is, why is this important to me? And when you first put that first answer down, it becomes, and why is that important to me? Because the more you drill down in why something is important to you, that's when you get at what your real motivation is.
Interesting. So a lot of the times we think the motivation might first start off as money, or I need this, and then it might go to family.
Yeah.
But what I'm hearing is it goes much deeper than that.
Just to give you an example, in one of the workshops that I did, it was a 28-year-old agent who started off the conversation by saying to me, I am driven to make money. That's what I'm all about. That's what's most important to me. And so the questions began. We started digging a little deeper into, why is it so important for you to make money? And he said, well, I have a family that I need to take care of. And I said, so tell me more about your family that you need to take care of. And as the questions continued, he started talking about his mother, who was left on her own to raise 4 boys when she was a very young mother. He was one of those little boys, and he watched his mother beautifully raise a family on her own, no help from anyone. He started to cry, so did I, and he talked about, I am driven to make money, and he connected the dots of his life, and it was to build a home for her that she could have, that she never had in her life, and they would be able to gather around and create the family life for her that she never had when she was trying to raise these 4 boys.
Wow.
Yes, he's driven to make money, but why was that important to him? And when we kept diving deeper and deeper and deeper, he said, oh my God, I just connected the dots. This is about my mother. Oh my God. And the pair of us are in tears. And he said, you know what? Now I know where my real motivation comes from. And yes, it's money, but it's really 4 levels deeper. And whenever he had any challenges in his work life, personal life, whatever, then he would say, I'm good because I know where my motivation comes from. That's, to me, that's powerful stuff.
That is powerful.
And to answer your question, Gary, that was unbelievable for his family to witness.
Yeah.
So they see that strength, and they see that connecting of the dots. They see that wisdom, and it's inspiring to all of those around you. So, I love change at the level of the soul. I love conversations at the level of the soul because, wow, they're game changers. Here I go, I'm crying. You know what I've heard? Tears are strength. When you have tears, you're talking about something that's unbelievably important. And so, yeah, there's what's going on with me. But it's true. I mean, and I write about this in a book that Lorraine Jordan and I just wrote about truly winning in real estate. And it's one of the chapters on knowing your purpose. And there's story after story after story in the book of exactly that. And no one can knock you off your strength point when you know you and know what matters to you most. I love it when people know what matters to them most. It's a big deal.
There's a saying where you find yourself when you're in service to others. Tell me more about that, and what does that mean to you?
Well, the story I just shared is a perfect example. Without even realizing it, this 28-year-old realized he was in service to his mom. But he didn't realize it until the dots connected, right? And that was his true motivation. He was in service to someone else. But it didn't seem like that. And you know what I always say to people when we're doing these sessions? Who's having these conversations? Nobody's having these conversations. And that's why I see such value in them. So there you go. Isn't that interesting? And all of this is born out of team leader, helping people get motivated, because life is not easy as a realtor. We've got to find out what really motivates us. And yes, we do that through the disc, and that's very helpful too. But to take it this one step further, this just came out of needing people to know how to navigate life and be very strong in their core. It's interesting because I always say all the answers are within you. People already know the answers. You just need someone to draw it out, right?
Yeah.
And that's key. And that's all I do. I just facilitate a conversation that helps people be their best, strongest self, and I love it. So, and it's helpful in real estate too. I mean, you sit and have conversations with people, and and just the questions that you ask them that get them thinking. It's so important. It's good. It's good.
I love it. I love it. And of course, the ripple effect as a business gets to evolve, and when you have when you're so sure of yourself, meaning just as you explained, when you know what matters most to you, well, the ripple effect is your business gets to grow, and then how that affects other people.
Exactly.
Right? Whether you're a big team leader and you have many people, you have a big team, or you're an individual agent, it doesn't matter, or a broker owner, it's all of that ripple effect gets to have an impact on so many people down the
And
line.
it is a ripple effect, and it's just that it's important to have the connection with people, and when people feel that you're really strong, you're right. It's a real ripple effect. I always say, especially when I'm teaching the DISC class, every human being wants to feel safe, right? From infancy on, all of us as human beings want to feel safe. And when you're having conversations that make people feel safe, you are doing a service to humanity, because that is what we're all looking for. I believe that that's where strong teams are built from, is the leader and the people on the team. They create that safe space for each other and that strong space for each other. And as Susan Scott says in her book, Fierce Conversations, conversations are the relationship. Isn't that true? Yeah. She's one of my favorite authors. I've seen her speak. She's an amazing woman. And she says, conversation is the relationship. And that's how you build strong teams, and that's how you build cohesiveness. Big time.
We can talk about perhaps, why haven't these conversations happened in the past? But I don't want to dwell on that. I think where I want to take this is, how can we have more of these conversations, Donna?
Wow. You know what? It's really about not being afraid to tackle what needs to be said.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah.
And Susan Scott talks about that in her most recent book, Fierce Love, which is, there's so many things that need to be talked about, and a lot of things we just don't even know how to say it, so we don't, right? But it comes from, again, if I'm strong in myself and I know where my motivation comes from and I'm really comfortable in my own skin, then I know that I can have those conversations with other people because I'm comfortable with me. And I come from a place of love. Mm-hmm. That's a big deal. I just want to come from a place of caring and love, and that's the safe space where you can have those conversations. You both do it all the time. You create beautiful safe spaces for people to feel comfortable. I felt it on your team call the other day, and people feel it. So you do that. You do that quite nicely.
Thank you.
So, okay, we talked about a lot, and it didn't get deep at all, my friends. No, it did. But
sorry.
But as I said, I just asked, how can we have more of these conversations? Well, this is part of it, obviously.
It is.
Right?
It is.
And I think, well, you said it, not being afraid to have these conversations, and you shouldn't be afraid, right?
Keller Williams, we call them carefrontations.
Sure. Yeah.
Oh, I love it.
I haven't heard that one yet, and we've been here.
Have you heard that
we've been
term
around a long
before?
time.
Oh, yeah.
I love it. I
Yeah.
love it.
And it's caring enough and coming from a place of, I feel good about where I'm at, and I care enough about the other person that out of love, I am going to share what needs to be said. And I think it's the best thing that you can do, especially with the people closest to you. Is it easy? No. Is it worth it? Yes.
I love it. I love it.
So yeah, you asked it at the beginning who Donna Beach is. That's, it's funny to ask anyone that question, and what the answer is somebody that just cares, that people really, really get to know themselves, what motivates them, what lights them up, and all of that helps you just live a more thriving life and a more life that you love.
So as we wrap up here now, how can people get in touch with you, Donna? Because what we discussed here today was beautiful, and I'm sure a lot of people will want to connect with you. How can people get in touch with you?
I have a Donna at Consulting by the Beach. Okay, don't giggle, but Consulting by the Beach.
Too late.
BEACH, right?
Love it.
So
Yes.
Donna at Consulting by the Beach. And if anybody wants to reach out and explore more about, do you want to have that conversation about what really lights you up, what really motivates you, et cetera, yeah. I live for this stuff. I love it. It's what matters to me. It's what lights up my soul. And I want people to be doing what lights up their soul and knowing why it's important to them. That's a big deal.
That's fantastic. So there you have it, my friends. Of course, this is Donna Beach. And as always, that's Sir Colin Campbell. I'm Gary McGowan. And we'll see everybody on the next show. Bye for now.
Bye for now. Well done, Donna Beach.